What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
All right, great article from Search Engine Land from Casey Gillette. She has some good points here. I wanted to go through a couple pieces of this article. You know, in addition to negatively impacting potential customers' impressions, a poor online reputation can also make it very hard to find link and content partners in SEO. You know, at the basic level, we should think about SEO. We should think about how to ensure your site or your client site, right, in that respect, if you're a marketer, and how they're found in search results for specific terms we think our customers are going to be looking for. But, I mean, as we as marketers, we work to make sure that a site meets all the technical SEO standards and the right content is created and what have you. But we're continuously trying to figure out how to build links, right? Because 5 years ago, it was just a gaggle of links that would get you value online.
A gaggle?
A gaggle.
A gaggle.
That's a bazillion. That was the pursuit of just building value. It had just a number game, right?
Yeah.
Well, where it is now is it has to be authentic, it has to be original, it has to be quality links, and you better believe online resources know their value. So whenever they start extending links, and if you're not in this digital marketing pursuit, you certainly should be. You should be tethering your site to good valued content for your consumer, and look to mine that. Conversely, you need to have that inbound factor, and that you need to start pursuing that. If you are pursuing it and you don't know your actual reputation online, well, the point is, there's a lot of companies that are checking you out, your reputation out. And if you're trying to create this type of digital connection, they're going to be looking at you with a bit of a stink eye if you've got a negative reputation.
Yeah.
This author, Cassie, actually, she works for an SEO company, and they actually had secured a third-party guest blogging opportunity. All right? And that's part of how you get these good, authentic links.
Yep.
And they were working for a client, and they actually got a response back from the blogging community, right? About the article itself, and listen to what they said. They said, over the past 26 years, our organization has acquired a squeaky clean reputation with our association with various state and federal agencies, right? Blah, blah, blah. There is an old saying, this is what they said in the response, there's an old saying that you are judged by the company you keep. Therefore, we must do our due diligence before we associate ourselves with any type of service provider. In doing our research on client A, right, who the writer represents, we have found a very substantial amount of negative reviews. Based on what we have found, we find that we must turn down your request to post articles from your client. Bam!
Interesting.
Very much so.
Well, bam.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that you're now in an environment where you know, marketing tech knows its value on the outside, right? And it knows what its responsibility is for its consumers, right?
Yeah, you're passing along. If I'm passing along a company information on my site, I'm putting my reputation at stake. So I want to make sure that they're,
or maybe Jen's reputation, because your reputation.
Yeah, mine's kind of shot already. But
no,
yeah,
you're absolutely right.
And so if I see that it's a terrible company and they get a terrible product or whatever, they're getting a lot of complaints, I'm not going to promote them.
No, absolutely not. And that's the importance of this entire discussion here, is that you've got to be aware of what consumers are saying about your product or service. You can't turn a blind eye to it. You can't ignore it. And it can absolutely not just affect those consumers, but how you can even be lauded in the digital marketing environment, you know?
Yeah.
So it's no secret that customers want to read reviews and testimonials, and customers are relying on feedback from friends, family, strangers more than ever. So, I mean, the reviews and testimonials are very effective. There's a Bright Local survey that found 88% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations.
Yep.
Wow. 88% trust the digital community. That also means that there's a heck of a lot of crap that got shaken out recently, because people were not believing a lot of what Yelp was saying about particular reviews, right? Well, we also know there was a lawsuit that actually took care of a lot of those fictitious reviews.
I still don't believe a lot of it.
On Yelp?
On most of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, people are getting savvy.
I mean, I kind of flip through the reviews and see what's applicable and what's not applicable.
Okay.
But sometimes people are just jerks, too.
Well,
Right?
Yeah, I think you can
That's
really
true.
tell. I mean,
Yeah.
well, but
Yeah.
to the point about 88% of people trust reviews, even if it's from a complete stranger. This is what you were talking about with Mark Schaefer. You know, if someone...
name drop. Mark, did you hear that?
There you go.
Hello.
We're going to get back on the show here soon.
Okay. Mark, he has a new book. I can't remember what it was called, but...
The Content Code.
Yeah,
Sorry.
name drop. Can't remember his book.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mark, it's on my desk, and I haven't finished it yet, and then I'm giving it to Jen. So Jen
Okay,
will,
all right.
Jen
all right,
will
all right,
remember.
all right. No, he talks about how sharing is an emotional connection, and people will trust something that is shared versus something that is promoted.
Correct.
So it goes... I mean, when people are doing research on products and reviews, it makes sense that people are trusting those shared product reviews. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You see, consumers now understand their part in the marketing mix, where they've never had a role before. They've never had a seat at the marketing table. They've always been a passive recipient of whatever spin, whatever type of branding that you could actually bring to the equation. They now have control of your brand and the consumers under. Now, to your point, Doug, you can sniff out a flaming idiot. You know,
Yeah.
anybody can, and people are attuned to. Okay, let's just. Even if they rubberneck around a negative.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think it's a first glimpse, right? If I'm on Amazon page and I see 3 different microphones, and one's got a 1-star, and one's got a 3-star, and one's got a 4.5, I'm probably going to go to the 4.5 first, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so I'm not trying to say that I don't pay attention to those at all. It's just that, I also watch, like I think my behavior mimics a lot of people, and that's that I will go to the...
Gosh, I hope not.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, stand up for me, people. Call in. Dial in.
He's actually
right
a good guy.
But if I jump straight to the 1-stars, right? Yeah. I want to see what the worst is that people have to say about this product or service or company, because a lot of times I can instantly tell, oh, come on, you're just whining it. So it had a plastic clip and you broke it because you're a doofus,
Right.
But the case was beautiful or whatever, So but again, it still has a behavioral impact in the way that you're navigating, refining, filtering, prioritizing. Definitely.
You have. I think the lesson learned here, and we'll finish up with this, is that you have to monitor the sentiment that's out there of your products, of your services, and there are tools and software that you can get involved with that will help you get a little bit better window, but you do need to have somebody working on your behalf. If you don't have the time to do that, you need to reach out.
Yes.
Maybe not to site strategists, but somebody to be able to manage that, watch what's going on, because your brand can be irreparably harmed, not from only the consumers, but also from the marketing potential that you can have.
I'll give you a perfect example outside of the review scope.
Yeah.
A company that was charged and then the charges were dropped.
No.
Right? Mm-hmm. 18 IBJ articles on the investigation on this, right?
Yep.
I mean that's what the news stories do. They go after the
salation.
They go after the negative.
Yep, absolutely.
And so they write, and well, guess what? The IBJ has high standing with search engines because it's a newspaper.
Right.
And so you look up this company name, what's the first thing that pops up? That they were charged with this, that they were charged with that. And if you don't take the time to actually read, you wouldn't know that they were, all the charges were dropped. And it happens every single week.
Yeah, unfortunately, the consumer's responsibility, they don't take up that responsibility to actually judge fairly.
Exactly.
There's content that's always going to be top of the list, and with a small attention focus, that's all you're going to see.
And so the company has to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The company has to take it. They have to make sure that they're doing philanthropy, that they've got a PR team working with them, that they're writing articles around town. They get, they got to make sure that they fill that void instead of just letting that bad reputation.
It's going to float
sit
out
there.
there,
Yeah.
and Google abhors a vacuum.
Right.
So anything that fills in those spots regarding your brand, they're going to be. So I mean, lesson learned here: pay attention to your sentiment and actually execute in reputation management. You need not to spin things. You need to have clarity.
Right.
And if nobody's speaking on your behalf inside of reviews and reputation, then people are absolutely going to get the wrong idea, or they're just not going to see the true nature of what's being discussed. Yep. All right. So a business reputation can get hurt. I mean, it can hurt an SEO program, and I think that's the way we wanted to run this thing.
Great point.
It really is. Thank you so much.